We're just going to go ahead and get started, and Rami will hopefully join us when he gets himself connected again. I am thrilled to have this panel today because there's been many scenarios which we've all been talking about in our chat threads with AIBC event, and just, how do we make this space more friendly for women, especially in the Arab world, like where you have culture as a, not just like, I would say it should be an enabling factor. It shouldn't be a limiting factor. So how do you advance women by being culturally sensitive? And this is a conversation that we were having offline on our chat threads and WhatsApp groups this a couple weeks ago. And then we had Arab Blockchain Week, where we had a whole focus on women, and it was amazing because we had people from Palestine, we had people from let's see, where else were they? Dubai,
Afghanistan,
Iran. I think for first day,
Iran, yes,
right. So it was like it was global, this conversation, and the thought was, let's include some men this time, and we have our Father's Day Summit. So we've got a couple fathers that stepped up and said, you know what, I would love to be part of this conversation. I would like to lead this conversation. So basically, we're in this position now where we can have an open dialogue of, how do we advance women in the Arab world? What can we be doing? And it's not just in the Arab world. I mean, we see this in everywhere, right? So it's like the blockchain industry is amazing because there's so much potential on how women can get involved, not just from the coding standpoint, tech standpoint, but management, communications, and so on and so forth. And we also see a large number of women now in the crypto space. There's 25% of the entire crypto community is actually women. So this is actually a great recent stat. So we're going to dive in today. I'm going to ask each of our panelists to introduce themselves, where they're from, and how they got into the blockchain space, what they're most passionate about. So Iman, do you want to start? Just tell us a little bit about, where and how and what you're most passionate about.
All the crazy story.
Yeah.
So much for inviting me. It's a pleasure and honor to join you today. And also thank you so much for accepting my invitation as well to be in our blockchain week. About me, I'm Iman Zerrawi from Egypt. I joined blockchain domain on late 2017. And the reason why I joined blockchain domain, I can say two. The first one was I was searching for a better opportunity. I don't know blockchain, and it's I'm searching for a remote opportunity where here I don't have to. I'm not living in the capital, and all the tech work or tech opportunity are centralized in the capital cities. So for me, it's a big barrier to travel every day to just to go to work and I get back. So one of my friends recommend that check blockchain. I guess it's the next big thing you need to know, and maybe you can find a good opportunity. So for me, I said, why not? So he sent me a video or a tutorial about blockchain, and when I was watching this video, talking about the potential impact of blockchain in our life. It was talking about the intersection between blockchain technology and other emerging technologies like IoT and AI, and so I felt yes, this is the future. I want to be part of it. So at that time, I decided that it was on December or November 2017. I decided that I would, by next March, I would be a blockchain developer. And I was lucky to be a blockchain. I could do my plan. I could achieve my goal. And since that time, I'm working as a blockchain full stack developer. And I'm coming here with two hats. The first hat as a blockchain developer. I'm the blockchain lead at Starfy. when we are like building the an easy to use platform for content creators where they can monetize their work. And and the second half is my passion towards building community in the Arab world. Because when I started at that time, the community was very small, and I'm not fluent in English, and I felt it's very hard for anyone who's not at least upper intermediate in English to like understand advanced technology and blockchain. So since that time, I started to like organize some webinars and study groups. Like trying to build a community, not to build a community, but to learn with the community. And by the end of 2020, I founded Arts and Blockchain as an umbrella to gather all blockchain into the Atom database. Whether they are expert in blockchain or just newcomers want to learn what's blockchain. And our main focus is increasing the Arabic content, so anyone can learn blockchain with no barriers through like translation or organizing events. And we did like webinar series of sometimes explain blockchain risk topics from business perspective and technical perspective, the same topic. We're like trying to like say, hey, blockchain is not cryptocurrency. There is a lot of opportunity there. You have to check. And I was so lucky to meet Rami and partner with him to organize the art blockchain. I was very lucky to meet all the panelists here because all the panelists here are my friends. So this panel, yeah, and I guess I'm the only one who's friend of all of you.
No, everybody's my friend too. That's not
And that's all about Iman.
Awesome, Iman. Thank you so much. Rami, can you hear us now? Can you put your mic? Can you unmute yourself? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, wonderful. So we're just doing introductions. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been in blockchain, and then tell us what makes you so passionate about advancing women in this space.
Cool. Thank you so much. I'm sorry for the late. This is Rami Al-Damati. I am Jordanian Palestinian based in UAE. Mainly, I am a cybersecurity expert since more than 18 years. Then I started in 2016, 15 like this, to the emerging technology domain, starting from Bitcoin, investing, then go to the better than of this domain, focusing on cybersecurity and the emerging technology, blockchain cybersecurity, fintech cybersecurity, and so on. Then I found that I have to carry on with more details in the blockchain engagement, and I get into multiple project in consulting, implementation, and training. Then I found that there is a lot of need to clarify the technology for the normal people, not the expert. Expert, they already have the resources and everything. And I started like multiple initiatives and training. Then I co-founded a platform called Al-Barza, and Al-Barza is a platform for entrepreneurs, for training, for connections, and many of other things. It's mainly an Emirati initiative for all of the world. And in regard of the topic for today, I believe there is a lot of needs to support the woman in multiple areas, actually, because we can see the dominations of men definitely there because of maybe the culture in the Middle East itself, maybe the part of the engagement and so on. But I can see that they are doing very good, but they need the encourage, they need the support, they need the space to start. And we are in UAE. Actually, we have a lot of initiatives and support, and even in multiple countries, we found there is many areas to support and help in order to make at least the equality between all parties, maybe support in technology part or support in the community part itself. So this is in January, and let's see, maybe during the discussion we can discuss more details about the initiatives and more details on how we can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get deeper into this in the panel. Can you tell me, are you Emirati yourself, or are you from somewhere else living?
No, I am Jordanian Palestinian, and live in UAE since like 7-8 years, but living in GCC more than 42 years.
Whoa! What other countries? What other countries were you living in?
I spent my life actually 16 years in my childhood in UAE since like I reached to 17. Then moved to Jordan, study university, and then returned back to Saudi for 15 years.
Okay.
Then returned back to UAE for 8 years now. So a total experience like 42 years.
Wow.
And he speak English. He speak Egyptian very well.
Yeah, that's
I speak
it.
languages actually.
So
Arabic
is Saudi Arabic different than Egyptian Arabic?
Some dialects.
That's dialects. Okay.
Arabic, but
It's like accent. It's like the UK. There's a British accent and American accent. So
I see. Oh yeah. I see. I follow. So I know Emirati is different than the Egyptian, but I wasn't sure about the Saudi.
It's like we are meeting each other. Who's like better in speaking other dialects?
Amazing. So Rhonda, would you like to share a little bit about your background and experience and why you're so passionate about this space?
Yes, basically my name is Randa Arifai. I'm from Lebanon and I'm based in Lebanon. I started my career in banking and finance, and then in 2015 I started with the Bitcoin concept and the blockchain, and I was the first woman in the Middle East to have the certificate of the digital currencies and blockchain, and so my journey started in 2015. And as I said before, I started educating and giving training sessions, education to fill the gap of knowledge and experience about cryptocurrencies and blockchain and uses of this technology, whether for private sector or public sector. So I founded the first also community for Bitcoin and blockchain in Beirut, and the first association for digital transformation, also covering the emerging technologies in Lebanon. And recently I've been working on that and presenting this association in conferences and many other activities. You work on researches, on consultation, with a lineup of members that are experienced in the emerging technology space. For the women thing, because I was the first woman in Lebanon also to introduce the cryptocurrency and the blockchain concept, and I was like 1% maybe out of the whole community of male or men, let's say. So I'm still kind of recognized as the only lady in this space. Of course, we have other ladies acting and active in this space in Lebanon, but it's still very few percentage. So maybe I will talk later during the session about the culture here, the traditions, the support and the encouragement that we need. That's it. Thank you.
And fantastic. Rudy, you're in Lebanon as well, aren't you? We had a call a few weeks ago. Are you still in Lebanon? You're there now?
Yes, indeed. I'm still there. Hanging on.
Fantastic. Welcome. Hi. So could you please tell us a little bit about your background and why you're so passionate about getting more women into this space, into the blockchain tech space?
First, thanks for the invite. And obviously, I cannot not call them my colleagues anymore. We've been very active all together in here. I started in the financial technology or the financial sector. Yeah, for more than 21 years now. And
we lost your video. Rudy. Do you want to refresh your video?
Yes. Better now?
Oh my gosh. No. You're gonna have to leave and come back because your video disappeared.
How is now? Better?
Nope. It's not working. You can continue and
just refresh. Close all screens and refresh.
Come to Rabia and then I'll be back.
Okay. Rabia, you want to start?
Sure, I'll do that.
Yourself and why you're passionate about getting more women in the space. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, for sure. This is Rabia Al-Matan, or Rob. I'm a Jordanian Canadian. I've been working in the private and public sector here in Canada for the past 12 years, maybe. I'm mostly I come from a very technical background, technical heavy background, software development, architecture, that kind of stuff. These days, I'm a enterprise architect with the government of Canada, but also when it comes to the blockchain world, I started my journey as a fun day activity at my previous job. We wanted to experiment with blockchain. Everybody was talking about it. And I wanted to build something. So with one of my colleagues, we built a chicken farm using the blockchain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's super unusual.
Yeah, we wanted to come up with something that's fun and that kind of stuff. So that's what
Did he do it? Did you do it? Did you build it?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the story. It was a fun activity. But that was back in 2017 when tools were not really very friendly to work with. And again, that was a fun day, but that's when I got hooked and I was I could see the value into the technology, and I knew it's here to stay, right? So, and today here I am. I'm part of two projects, two companies, equipment, a payment system built on top of Stellar. That's one system we have built, and also my new baby, the project I invest most of my time on is StartFi. Iman is leading that blockchain heart of that solution. She's the champion of that solution. So there you go, an example of women in blockchain. So yeah, that we have this solution, StartFi. We are building the product, hoping to go live with the MVP very soon. We have finished both seed and private rounds. We raised $1.4 million, and we are excited to go live with the community. And yeah, and also talking about the topic, amplifying her voice, why we are here, why I'm supporting this, because we need women in blockchain. Simply put, I need Iman in StartFi, as simple as that. So no dancing around, and no kind of making things trying to say it in a very nice way. It's as simple as that. You guys, women, are part of this community, and we need them. We need their help, and we can't get it done on our own.
Amazing. And tell me, where are you in Canada at the moment?
In the capital city, in Ottawa, Ontario.
Oh, okay, great. I used to live in Toronto, so it's great.
Okay, yeah. We're neighbors, yeah, for hours.
Right. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So now we have the much-awaited Rami. Rudy, there you are, down there. I see you here. 1 second.
Back.
You're back. tell me why you're so passionate about this space. You and I had a conversation a few weeks ago, and I just thought you'd be perfect for this panel. So jump in.
Yeah, just let me introduce quickly myself, and then I'll jump into the space. So as I said, I have 21 years experience in the financial technology sector. And in the last 7 years, it was more about the governance and the risks of digital transformation, and especially the last 2 years were heavily on that digital transformation. I've been awarded many awards. I sit on many boards, and so on and so on. But lately, the last sitting home since the COVID-19 changed a lot. I got introduced to the Bitcoin first as a start, and then later on I also met Trenda in I think 2016, if I'm not mistaken, in the association that she had, and it was more of a discovery. Then we met Trenda, and then things started to make sense on the blockchain itself, not just on the application, which is the Bitcoin. And jumping 3-4 years till 2020, when we started a lot of initiatives in the digital transformation, and I host my own show, which is called DX Talks. And then from there on, it went to something even more concrete. It was to something more called on the media perspective. That's what when you said before, there's big spaces for everybody to go. Not just you don't need to be developer. So I'm one of those. Maybe on the media side, that I'm highlighting the technology and highlighting the applications and so on. So we started with Tayyar Rujula, something called Crypto Talks, where we, every week we have news about what's happening on the blockchain, the applications. We bring people who are working hard. We brought Iman, we have Brenda. Of course, Rami joined us last week. So that's why they became virtual colleagues more than so this is from the background experience. But going to the question, I'm also involved with the UN for mentoring on the SDG, also going on the 2030 initiatives and so on. So one of we have a lot of targets, but one of them is also related to women, of course. I see it on a broader scale than just the blockchain. Of course, we concentrate on blockchain, but I see it more on the STEM itself, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Women need to be on that front. And unfortunately, the numbers are still low, but hopefully, with more awareness and more, push from us men, especially, we have 3 men here. And I know a lot of other men that are really supportive. We are part of this equation in the end of the day to really support women and advance them in taking their role. Yep, that's more or less about me and,
Great. So now we can dive into this whole session, and I've been waiting for this for like 2-3 weeks now since we all connected on our offline conversations. You have women like Iman, of course, who has really been driving the space. You have women like Rhonda also coming from more of the financial space. And this is the beauty of blockchain. Like you have an intersection, almost like there's the financial systems, the technology systems, and they're leaders in the space for all young women and girls. I think the combination of both of them is, you can choose many different paths to get to blockchain. And this is one thing that we need to start emphasizing with our young women in STEM, young women in tech, young women in business, is that there's no one way to get into blockchain. There's multiple paths, and with the support of amazing men like yourselves, Rabia and Rudy and Rami, I think there's programs, initiatives, and so on and so forth that, can be cross-sectional, intersectional, regional, also pan-Arab nations, where we can all learn from one another and also set an example for the world. So in terms of initiatives that you support, there's a couple that we talked about, Rhonda, in our session during Arab Blockchain Week. There were all these women coming from different parts of the Arab world, talking about coding and blockchain initiatives and so forth. What would you recommend that you know of, like ways that young women and girls can start to be thinking about careers in blockchain?
Yeah. So basically, what I did or what I've been doing, I've started with my own young daughter. So I've been trying to inspire and encourage these young ladies, as you said, to start anywhere in the technology space. And I think that at the age of teenagers today, because I had an experience also teaching teenagers about blockchain and cryptocurrency, they are, whether male or female, they are ready for installing or digesting this information in a way which is better than 10 years ago, let's say. So their generation is more ready for this kind of technology more than our generation. So as has been what you have said and Rudy said, for example, that we need the encouragement and the support from men, but I think that this is we have more, let's say, opportunities or better opportunities for women enter into this space with easier ways and more, let's say, facilitated tools, let's say, whether online, studying online, distance learning, trainings, coding, programming from the business development side. So I think that this will grow, and I don't think that there will be a barrier, or the barrier will decrease, let's say, between discrimination that only men should enter into the technology space or work in the technology domain. No, that will be different, I think, in the next 5 years, whether in Lebanon or in the Arab region. So this is what I see, and this is my part of my mission, let's say.
Fantastic. We lost one. Rami, you've said you've been involved in some initiatives and programs that are advancing women in tech and the blockchain space. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey? Like, I know you've lived all over GCC. Can you tell us some of the big ones that you've been involved in? Successful?
Yeah, actually, mainly when I was focusing in the cybersecurity domain, there was also a lot of initiatives into the women in cybersecurity.
Can you speak louder? Just a little louder.
Yeah, it's good now?
Better.
Yeah. So mainly when I was into the cybersecurity domain, focusing on that domain, there is a community of women in cybersecurity. And really, it was one of the things that show that impressive actions, especially in this hard domain. You know, cybersecurity is not that easy to be going in the even investigation with the hackers and all of this stuff. When I start going to the emerging technology and the blockchain, especially in that domain, I found yes, there is a lot of attention in that part in the community, in even the country itself. I've been engaged in like multiple groups, multiple community in local here, even in some most of our work is online. So be connected with other countries based in the relation, maybe in Saudi, in Oman, in Kuwait as well, and found that still there is a long way to go with this term and supporting the women in this domain, because I believe they have a lot of, let's say, innovations in this domain. They have a lot of workaround. They can think out of the box better and greater, because they have the innovation sense itself, as well as, you know, when someone found a great support from his neighbor, from his community, from his family, I think they go and grow more and more. I believe I have discussion with my own daughter and my boy, and some discussion in a material in the school about the business. And at the end, she mentioned, okay, this is the business for men, and at the end, you will go and work in this and this. I told her, no, business today is not only for men, it's only for everyone. You need to find your way. There is a lot of possibilities for women, online, offline, everywhere. Equality is there, not like before, like 5-10 years before. There was like a lot of rules moving them out, preventing them to be inspiring. No, there is a lot of success women. There is a lot of women in government, in media, and everywhere. So I believe now things is more flexible. Support is there, but it needs to be shown more. Initiatives in the area. There is a lot. There is a lot of initiatives. I know, like in Saudi, it's Glow Work. I think Women in Digital. I think Wanda supporting is there. Ruwad in Palestine, Jordan, they support the women, especially in technology. How women work in Qatar. A lot of initiatives is there in our region, but it needs more show their value across the media, because everyone is connected, but they need to know about this one. Maybe you hear about this name first time, but others, they need to know more and more about these names to collaborate and interact with them more.
Wonderful. So I just want to let our audience know, everybody that's watching now and everybody that's watching this video, that we have been 100% funded by the Islamic Development Bank coming out of Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. So every single Amplifying Her Voice since March 8th that we've done, we did one for International Women's Day, we did one for Mother's Day, and now we're doing one for Father's Day. The Islamic Development Bank said, we want to be your first supporter. And we are so thrilled that the Royal Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Sultanate of Oman, the United Arab Emirates, Pakistan, Bangladesh, the People's Republic of Bangladesh, and the Republic of Indonesia are our first 5 countries that stepped forward to help us with content. And also just, they're very interested in inspiring stories and about role models from the region and around the world. So I hope we can all collaborate on identifying more outstanding female role models that we can feature on our podcast and so on and so forth. I'll be reaching out to each and every one of you. Iman, you were with us the very first summit that we had, and we had a session in Arabic, we had a session in Farsi. So we're really passionate about the space and appreciate any of the collaborations that you've worked with Rami and Rhonda to see if we can make this even better when we do an event in Q3 or Q4 of this year. We're about 15 minutes away from the end of the session, so I want to talk about solutions. We're talking about collaborations and why we do what we do. But most importantly, we're all walking into the new normal now. And with this new normal, I think there's room for investing in women entrepreneurs, in room for bringing them on boards, bringing them as co-hosts, bringing them as content creators, and so on and so forth. Let's talk to Rabia and tell me, what are some proactive steps that you are looking forward to taking to see the new normal be more inclusive?
Yeah, that's a great question. If I want to tackle the whole thing, I would start from the family, but I think this is a discussion for a different day. We're talking about companies, we're talking about corporates, how we can support women, how we can jumpstart the whole, like having a true equal environment for everybody to work within. From my experience, I want to get into a little bit more practical things to discuss, to tackle. Gender pay gap, that has to disappear. Till today, we have this gender pay gap, and this can be acceptable. Companies, organizations, corporates have to eliminate that. That has to go away. that's one. The second thing in my mind is supporting women, like establishing special channels to support women in their workspace. I know there's no way to slice it or dice it. Reality is some women out there need that kind of support in their workspace. That's something we cannot ignore, and we have to like make it okay for women to go out there and voice out their discomfort or like share their agony or like harassment. Like again, this is like a tough topic to kind of navigate, but reality is women shouldn't feel. Bottom line is women should not be ashamed to go ashamed or like fear going out and speak up about what's happening. So maybe starting with like this kind of channel within like organizations for women to reach out and feel safe to kind of tackle the problems they're having. Also, getting practical also, supporting moms in tech. That's very important. Moms are like, they are the superheroes. They are true superheroes. Like multitasking, I don't know how they do it. I get lost. I personally can't. But we have to support women through maternity leave. Like 2-3 weeks maternity leave support for women. That's really unacceptable in today's world. Like women needs like months of maternity leave. Like I'm happy to say, like in Canada, there is support for 2 years maternity leave for moms. So that's great. Also, daycares in workspace. Women should not feel that they have to pick and choose or sacrifice. Is it my baby or is it my job? That shouldn't be like the case, because that's crippling. That feeling, that guilt, or that weight on the professional woman, like being sitting there like in her desk trying to work and thinking about her baby is just is not fair. That's a huge disadvantage out of the gate. I know we didn't have a lot of time, so I'm gonna stop there. I can go on and on, but I'm gonna stop right there.
Thank you, Rabia. That was really important information, because that's really the steps that we need to take, as everybody's at a different stage. I'm a mother. I'm a working mother, and I remember traveling to Doha with my 5-year-old daughter at the time. She was very little and not in school at the time. Actually, she was 4.5, 4-ish, and I had a nanny come with me on these trips, and we went to Oman from there and Dubai. And I remember people, when I landed, asking me, it wasn't a barrier. They would say, Anu, we have kids in the house. My wife is very good with children. Can we help you? Is there anything that we can do? So I found coming to the GCC a pleasure, because there were so many candy shops and toy shops for her. But for me as a mother, I had so many people around me saying, we're child friendly. We love children. Nice. We love to support. And just having male investors that I worked with, so many of them would show up at the hotel. I was like breastfeeding my child at the time, and they were so supportive. They didn't make me run around the city. They actually came to the hotel, nice. Met with me, and one by one, I did all my meetings. Very successful. I built my Middle East practice just because there were so many men that was so supportive. So I just want to shout out to everybody that's out there that this is one of the friendliest places for women to work when their culture supports women, working mothers, and so on and so forth. So thank you for bringing that up. Iman, do you want to say a few words on solutions, and then we leave it with Rudy at the end? 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, I do agree with all of you about the proposed idea of solutions, but I feel like why we need more women in blockchain or more women in tech or more women in any industry. It's like this is the healthy environment. This is our life. God creates us, a woman and man, and any environment that only have one gender expressing identity environment. So if blockchain domains only has all women, I will call for more women or more men and also to have more men asking for more women and blockchain domains for a healthy environment, securing the future for your children, securing a future for your daughter, your sister, your wife as well. But I do agree with Rabia when he said that we need more graduation support for women. But I believe make it inside the organization. I don't want to separate it entity outside the organization because we need to change the culture. And to change the culture, you want to be like more involved. But in these entities, inside them, we need to change the culture. By providing the role model, by providing supporting and respecting the difference between men and women. This is all my thoughts. In blockchain domain, I cannot say that the men supporting only women. I'm supporting both genders because actually our community is very small, and I don't care who the gender of anyone who asks me help. As long as they ask me, I will help. You know, but maybe more women showing and the women can be a secure if I'm a woman and I have a question, I will go to another woman because I will have less concern or less fears, you know. And that's why I think we need more women. That's why I think that we need to focus.
Thank you, Iman. Rudy, final comments before we hop off. We've got 5 minutes left.
Yeah, we hopped in, so I think now it's time to hop off.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Just let me conclude. I just want to see, like the steps taken in the GCC, especially in UAE, regarding gender equality regulations. I just want to see in the Middle East as a whole, or in Arab states as a whole, more regulations forcing, some gender equality regarding to pay and other ones. I like the experience that happened in UAE, so I want to see more because, we have only 12% of women who are going into the STEM domain itself. So they are already low. And out of these 12%, only 3% that are working in the STEM environment. So this is a very low, percentage as a global. But what I want to see also is really the women themselves jumping into those opportunities. They don't want us men. We don't need to only have men to bring equality. We want women to really demand, because some of the times they are not aware, or they don't know, or on a third perspective, they are shy, or, so we want more women to really be empowered and have that equality. They want to ask it. They want to, let's give it to them from our side, but we want them to step forward. Definitely, we want more supporting men, and of course, we want to support women and especially girls at younger age. This is very crucial for us because this is where things start taking. For the next generation and the one after it, we want to see them going into those blockchain technologies, emerging technologies. Today, they are in the AI field, in the IoT, and so on and so on. We'd love to see more incentives, especially today. Now everybody is working from home. So we have an opportunity to grab it. Since you don't need to go and come, let's take benefit of this opportunity today as a final comment to empower everybody actually to work from home. And lastly, we must not forget the refugees themselves, because in our region, especially in Lebanon and our side of the region, we have a lot of refugees and they are not part of any equations. There's many initiatives, but unfortunately, if we can empower women, they can actually build homes and build and survive, even more and less abuse, because that part of refugees that are being abused in the work, and in supporting their families. So this is, I just want to summarize it so we can be quick on time. And
you are awesome.
Back to you.
That final comment was everything, Rudy, because this whole platform that was funded by the Islamic Development Bank, our goal is after we have these recordings to make audio recordings, and Sheconomy, the company that we built, makes podcast apps that work on $20 mobile phones. So we're going to take the audio recordings of what we had today, convert them into our podcast, and share them with the refugee camps, refugee communities, and that way we hit the bottom billion. So all of you, thank you for contributing today. Your conversation, your passion, just the work that you do is really changing lives, and you know it and I know it, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining us. If you want to take a quick photo of all of us, somebody who can do a screenshot if you from your computer, if you can please, take that. Let's take a quick photo, real quick
I'll
photo.
take one.
You got it? Ready?
Yeah. Okay, done.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, everyone, have a great day, and thank you again for joining us. And we're on to the next session. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.